taller you must become. The further they take our rights away, the faster we must run. They can't deny it. They can't decide to turn their face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that we can make it. 'Cause say we're wrong, no, no. I thought that our pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. The more they refuse to hear our plea, the harder we will sing. They hide behind walls of Jericho. Their lies will come falling. Deny our place on earth. They squander wealth that's ours. Our lights will shine so brightly. Oh Ghana, new day is coming. Something inside so strong. I know that we can make it. 'Cause say we're wrong, no, no. I thought that our pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Brothers and sisters, when they insist, we just can't do it. Oh, we just can't do it now. Oh, when we know better, just look them in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway. Ghana's gonna make it anyway. Ghana's gonna make it anyway. Because there's something inside so strong. I know that we can make it. I believe in God so strong. I thought that our pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Something inside so strong.
We may have our differences, but what joins us together is more important. We are one Ghana, and I'm totally committed to working to ensure peace and stability for the Ghana project. I believe in you. I believe in the can-do spirit of the Ghanaian. I believe in Ghana. And above all, I believe in God.
Hello, good evening, and we couldn't have been more grateful to the Nana Akufo-Addo campaign for graciously granting us an interview with the MPP flag-bearer hopeful Nana Addo Dankwa-Akufo Addo tonight. You're seeing this interview just a few hours before. You're seeing this interview a few hours after it's been recorded here with Nana Addo Dankwa-Akufo Addo. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
I think that we have to congratulate you for this entire process. All of the media is descending on Ghana on Saturday to observe this very expanded electoral college that is electing a flag bearer. Over 100,000 people are going to elect a flag bearer. Right. We remember how you campaigned for this process from the 2,000 people to those 100 or so that has now become a spectacle around the world. And even Flies Lieutenant Rawlings talks about it. You feel good that this is your baby coming up again?
I don't call it my baby, no. There are several people, there's many of us, who are responsible for creating the atmosphere in the party and for selling the idea to the party, and the party finally bought it. But I'm happy about the result. Not so much that it is my baby, but that it has happened, because I think it's important in terms of, if you like, it's a very overused word, but legitimacy of political leaders, that the broader the base of people who participate in the decision to select you as a leader, the more bottom you have, as it were, the better grounded you are as a political leader. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm very happy about this development in the party.
Tonight we'll be talking about the Saturday event. We'll be talking about your chances and the chances of your competitors. We'll be talking about uniting your party. After all, your party's been through some difficult times and it's been in the media. We'll talk about how it will all come around together as one again. But we'll also talk about the Supreme Court verdict, given that it's the first time that we're speaking to you about that. So quite a full plate. We thank you for your time. We'll make it very quick because we know you're busy. Tell your friend to tell his friend, WhatsApp somebody, email somebody, Facebook it, Nana Addo Dankwa and Good Evening Ghana is an exclusive. Welcome back, and thank you very much for your time, and thank you, sir, too. Well, it's been a while. The last time I saw you, I visited with you in London, and you were eating a confirm in
you remember
your place. Yes, that was in November last year. And
it was good of you to pop in.
I was happy that you look very well. And
I'm feeling okay.
We had a good conversation about
despite
Ghana.
all that is being said. I'm in good shape.
You look good.
I'm in good shape.
You look okay.
Thank you so much.
There was another article in
the
newspapers today, and Joe Garte, one of those who began the contest and withdrew quickly, he claimed that he found a wife in your law firm.
It's absolutely true.
What do you know about that?
Oh, it's absolutely true. He came after, I think he'd been in the office a couple of years, 2 or 3 years that he had been in the office, when the daughter of Professor Dixon, the Reverend Dixon, Ifwa Dixon, also came to join us. And I think Joe... And he had to be quick because the girl was very good looking.
I see.
And there were quite a few eyes. That's my suspicion anyway at the time. But he was quick and was able to get hold of her. And they've had a very, from what I can see, at least from what I know, a very successful marriage. And I'm happy that to that extent I played, if you like,
he was talking about it today.
To the marriage.
And we saw you in photographs at the Ojira Festival at the weekend in what looked like a very hearty chat with President Mahama. What were you two talking about?
No, it was at the end when he came to come and say goodbye to me. There's a little impediment, and it sort of destabilized him a little. And I just said to him, hey, he shouldn't fall, because were he to fall, people would say I pushed him down. and he thought it was amusing. It was just...
Did he wish you well for Saturday's event?
I don't think it had occurred to him that Saturday was that near for me. But I have no doubt that he will wish me well.
What do you think is the state of affairs in Ghana today?
One has to be frank about these things. And I think it's important that we all recognize that when you talk about your country, even in a critical spirit in terms of those who are in charge of it, you're not running down the country, but you're also pointing out to the population and to the people the need for us to do better. I think that the situation in Ghana today is not good. Our economy has got... They themselves recognize, the managers of the economy, that we have some serious challenges. If we didn't have, there would be no need for us to have turned back to the IMF. It in itself is an indication that we have some challenges. And there are issues of governance in the country today that are serious. There's constant reference to corruption, high circles in the government and the general apparatus of our governance. We are seeing many, many transactions that beg the question whether or not the Ghanaian people are getting value for money for where they put their money. I gave an example, for instance, today at the rally at La Paz, which is on the NI,
the N1 road.
The N1 road. My understanding was that a 6-lane highway with 2 major interchanges cost the nation in Kufuor's time $115 million. A one interchange development at Kasua has been projected for 170 million. And unless there are things in that equation that some of us are not privy to, that seems a really significant departure from what you call value for money. And I think it is these kind of transactions that are giving rise to the perception which is growing and which is now widespread. It is not my creation. It is not the creation of the opposition. It's not the creation of the MPP. It is the facts that are emerging from the way we're being governed, that something is not going right with the way in which our monies are being handled. And in the context, it's very easy for us to advance to the conclusion of corruption. We have that. And generally, we have the social, the use of the word breakdown perhaps may be dramatic, but we've got serious issues at stake in our country. The quality of our educational system, our health system, our infrastructure. These are fundamental pillars on which any society that is working has to have properly in place. We do not have them properly in place in Ghana. They can be properly in place. The reason why I continue to be interested in the public life of our country is that I have this strong conviction, I've had it all my life, and it continues to be with me now, that the Ghanaian people are capable of building a successful society, that we're capable of being a successful African country with all the historical baggage that we carry of colonialism and the post-colonial state and the rest of it. But that we have within us the human capacity, the human talent and capacity. We have also, of course, the economic resources that properly organized and properly motivated can give us a very decent standard of living for the mass of our people. That is the goal. And as far as those goals are, that goal is concerned, I see great difficulties ahead of us at the moment. And it is because of the quality of governance that we're getting. There will always be differences of view as to what is responsible for this or that. But I think that today, the hardships that our people are going through are hardships that have attributed directly to poor governance.
Poor governance.
To poor governance. And I believe that there are things that we can do something about. We can do something about it if we have people who are in government committed to giving value for money, for how our monies are spent. Who secondly have a clear idea of what we need to do to make this transition from poverty to prosperity. How we can motivate our own population, the measures that we take that will inspire our population to take up the task of social and economic transformation. That is the task before us. And I don't see that task being successfully accomplished at this time in our history.
You present a certain kind of paradox to any political scientist observing the national politics of Ghana, and especially within the MPP. Here you are as a very dominant figure of the new Patriotic Party, and you had two attempts as becoming president of Ghana, 2008 and 2012. You lost in both instances, but you still retain a significant, overwhelming popularity within your own party, and all things appear as if you would be elected once again to become the MPP flag bearer. Now, what's going to be different the next time you run for elections? You know.
No, I think first of all, the losses. Many people in the MPP have their own views about the so-called losses. But beyond that, there's nothing unusual in the situation in which I find myself. There are examples of it in other countries, even in our own country, of political leaders who present themselves twice, thrice, before they finally make the breakthrough to success. So in itself, there's nothing peculiar about my situation. It isn't as if somehow or other I am going through an experience that is unheard of. It's an experience that has been duplicated both on the African continent, in our own country, and of course many, many times in the history of the democratic worlds of the West. So in itself, there's nothing unusual about it. So much of politics is about the moment and the issues. And I believe that the persistence with which I have attempted to project a certain view of what could happen for us in Ghana, somehow or other, I sense that it is beginning to break through, and that people are beginning to appreciate that, yes, the statements that I have been making about how we can transform our country, the need for us to set ourselves that task of transformation, that they are not just the usual pity-patter of politicking, but that they represent a serious program of national development. And I see that that is what is critical. In terms of what we will do specifically over the ballot, well, we are working at many things. And for the time being, I think that the famous Good Evening Ghana should not be the first place in which I speak about these things.
And
I have to go through those things with my party people for. But definitely, you can't continue to do the same things. Not largely because the times are always different. The circumstances of 2016 are not the circumstances of 2012. They're not the circumstances of 2008. They're not the circumstances of 2004 or 2000. Each one of the elections that we have present its own issues and challenges, and you have to try your best to respond to them.
This brings me to the question of the Supreme Court situation. Now, this was the first time in the history of our 1992 Constitution and new political arrangement that a losing candidate was taking advantage of the laws that present him or her to challenge the verdict of the Electoral Commission, and you did for a long time. And you had announced in a press conference, and it appeared on the documents, that the suit was by the new Patriotic Party and you and Jacob Echebelamte and others. Now, when it came to the verdict, which your side lost, albeit narrowly, you held a press conference soon after the verdict had been delivered.
Yeah, this very house.
Oh, it was here, okay. Yeah. I remember your nice green tie. But you held a press conference and told Ghanaians that you were not about to go and challenge the verdict through a review process, which was applicable and it was allowable. You decided you were not going to do that. Eventually, when the verdict was assessed by lawyers, they came to the conclusion that it was a very, very close verdict, and that a review may have given the legal structures of our country and the history a better perception of what the court really was saying, that you had usurped the authority of the party and jeopardized that process. Why did you take the decision quickly to say that I wasn't interested in a review?
These are strong words, usurping the authority of the party. That's not the way in which I saw it. First of all, immediately it happened, the three of us had an opportunity to discuss it, and especially the third plaintiff, petitioner, who was the national chairman of the party, that my view was that really, having regard to what had happened, this 8 months where the country had been on such tenterhooks, and the potential, because it was always there underlying the judicial process, beginning from Obra's spot, the possibility that if the whole matter wasn't well managed, it could get out of hand. The establishment of democratic institutions in Ghana has been what has given my meaning to my life's work as a politician and a public figure. And I think that whenever the choice is there as to which way we go to maintain, first of all, the peace of our nation, and secondly, the opportunity for democratic values and democratic institutions in our country to become firmer and more firmly entrenched, that is the choice that I will always make. When the case came to it, on the 29th, I believe the country itself was on a knife edge. That was my sense of it. I wasn't in every home, I was in the court, and from the court came here. But my sense of it, and this is one of the things that you're required to do when you're a political leader, is to make your own assessment as to what the spirit, the mood, the standing of the people are at any given time. I sense that continuing to drag out the matter could bring more problems for us than we would. It's all very well today, on hindsight, to say, yes, it may have been better to test the quality of the judgment that was given by the Atuguba court. And the opportunity obviously was there for it to be done. We would have had to have the same court with 2 judges added to it, and a 5-4 majority can be overturned in that process. We've seen that happen in our judicial history before. But you weigh that against the societal moment, the tension, the worry, in some ways almost expectation that Ghana was on the brink of something. Those were the calculations that I made. And it is one of the burdens, the supreme burden of leadership, when there come moments that you have to make a decision and take the consequences of it. I see the manner in which the rank and file and the structure of the MPP continues to support me. I say that without prejudice to what will happen on Saturday. But the manner in which the MPP people react to me and support me, that basically they supported the decision that I took. Yes, there was no formal meeting of the National Council to decide whether or not we should apply for a review or not. But I felt that the decision to go or not to go was something that had to be taken immediately. And I thought that not going inured better to the stability of our nation and the window that had been opened by the Supreme Court case to develop our institutions and the culture of our governance. And that is the way in which I reacted. I don't believe, I think that if, for instance, there had been serious dissension or differences of opinion about what I had done in the MPP, and you know this is a party which is very open, I think that it was within the scope of the party that all kinds of further decisions could have been taken. People could have asked for a meeting of the National Council to debate the validity of what I had done. All of those things were there on the table. I think that the fact that they weren't done, and that by and large the party went along strongly with what I had done, meant that I had responded to what the feelings of the party people were. And also, I believe, and that at the end of the day is really what matters, to the overall interest of the Ghanaian people. Because it is that which, at any one stage, determines the validity of what we do, what is in the public interest of the Ghanaian people. And that has to be the supreme consideration. I took that decision at the time because I believed it was in the interest of the Ghanaian people that this litigation and all its ramifications should be brought to an end. We close the chapter of the election of 2012 and build on it for the future. I don't know. It's always very difficult.
I'm sure posterity will be the best judge.
Well, absolutely. But for the time being, I think I've not done badly.
You're watching an exclusive interview of Good Evening Ghana with Nana Addo Dankwa-Akufo Addo, the 2012 MPP flag bearer for the 2012 presidential election. Now, all indications on paper seem to point to the fact that you will be elected in an overwhelming vote on Saturday. In fact, you were in the primary one. But there are concerns about the unity of the MPP at this stage, and that has happened to many political parties. But in particular at this stage, there are concerns about the unity within the MPP. You are thought to be one of the principal figures in the MPP, President Kufuor as well, national executive, former national executives. If you were to win the contest on Saturday, it will be again back on your shoulder to act in ways that will unite the party. Do you find yourself capable of being able to achieve that?
Absolutely, absolutely. First of all, I think that much of the talk about disunity in the MPP is hype, and is also a misunderstanding of the processes that take place in any normal democratic political organization. we are not robots in the MPP. And we were founded on the principle that we are not robots, that we all, you know, can have difference, can think independently. What we're bound by certain fundamental values. We're bound by our belief in the principles of democratic accountability. We're bound by our belief in the market economy as the most productive form of economic organization you can have. We're bound by our commitment to social justice, to making sure that everybody in Ghana gets a fair crack of the whip and given an opportunity to make something of his or herself. Those are the overall, the general values and principles that has made us into the MPP, that has brought us together under the Dankwa-Addo tradition. But at any one time, there will be differences amongst us as to particular strategy at a given moment, leadership. Those are matters that are always at large. What has mattered and what has kept the MPP together and continues to keep it together, and I'm sure will continue to keep it together, is that when those decisions as to leadership, as to strategy, as to the way forward are made, are concluded in the manner in which the party's own principles and law, constitution and culture permits, it allows the party to form itself around it, and we go forward. That there are factions in the MPP, there's nothing so unusual or strange about it. I don't know any of the parties here and on the West African coast or in the Western world, in the democratic countries of the Western world, which are monolithic in the way in which all the leadership or the people think. It is never the case. What matters is that there are mechanisms and there are systems within the party which allow people to come together.
But sir, surely,
and I believe
macho
also,
men going to the MPP office,
those are incidents.
Knives being pulled are not ordinary incidents.
Those are unfortunate. But none of us have really sat down, at least publicly, to really sort of dive into what were the occasions. They were not, and they are unfortunate. They're not also very usual events in our party. They've happened. We are trying to contain them. I believe that so far so good. I think that regrettable incidents, you don't wish them away, but you try to find a way to situate them. I believe that that is what is being done, and that the general atmosphere in the party, from the rank and file upwards, is a very positive one. Most of the people, the overwhelming majority of people in the MPP, are extremely keen about getting involved in the struggle to remove the NDC from power in 2016. That is what I have seen in going around the country, that at the level of the grassroots of our party, there is a tremendous enthusiasm about working together to make sure that we win the election of 2016. And I believe that once this contest for the leadership in the party is concerned, a lot of the animosity, what appears to be animosity and strife, will cease, and water will find its own level. We're never going to have a situation where in this party there is complete and monolithic acceptance of everything that happens. It's never going to be. And for myself, speaking for myself, I wouldn't want to be part of a party that sees itself. Those are the parties of the Soviet system. When you have those are not the parties that I want to be part of. But I come back to it. I recognize, yes, there are differences of opinion. There are, and there's many of them are strongly held. And if not properly and well managed, they can lead to problems. We have a history. Our tradition fractured in 1979. Much of the debate as to why that happened has still not been concluded. But it tells you that at any one time, the manner in which you handle these differences matter. I believe that I have both the will, certainly have the spirit to find a way to keep the party together.
and to find so that all the important component parts work together to secure, first of all, our electoral victory in 2016, and even more important, to give us the basis for a coherent and virile government that can address the problems that confront the Ghanaian people. We can do it, and we can find solutions within our thinking that will make it possible for this country to undertake the rapid growth that is its lot and will be its lot, God willing, when we come back to power in the year 2017.
There's a phenomenon that has been part of the politics of Ghana since the year 2000, and there's about the selection of running mates. Parties go together as they will on Saturday for the MPP to elect a flag bearer. Then another contest begins almost immediately for the flag bearer's attention for people to be elected as running mates. Sometimes we call it beauty contest, and you've been involved in that twice, in 2008 and 2012. There's a lot of observation about your public appearances these days, and one important space that has been with you all the time is Dr. Bawumia. If you get elected, do you already know that Dr. Bawumia would be your running mate, God willing? Are you going to name him as your running mate for the third time?
Almost, I mean, not almost, definitely. And I will, I mean, there's a constitutional requirement in the party that I consult the National Council of our party before it becomes a reality. But I don't think that there's not, you can't even call it an open secret. It's absolutely my intention. I have said so publicly already, that were I to be privileged, once again, with the honor of leading this party, that I want to have Mamudu Bawumia by my side. I think he's a tremendous asset to the party and to myself, and that he would make an extremely capable and effective vice president of Ghana, and help us, the party, myself, come to grips with the key issues of our time. I believe, I have a great deal of confidence in him. I think he's very good material for Ghana, for the MPP, and we work well together. He's a younger man than me. He brings different perspectives to the table. And I think that the old words they use about chemistry, provides a very good chemistry for us. I believe that if the Ghanaian people give us the opportunity, which I'm ardently praying for, in December 2016, that we should make a very good team for Ghana.
You and Bawumia. That's quite disappointing for me, because I would have been 40 by the time you're choosing a running mate, and I was hoping that I'll be considered for,
your time
for that one.
I have no doubt that your time
After the break, we'll continue the conversation with Nana Akufo-Addo. We'll be right back.
The higher they build your barriers, the taller you must become. The further they take our rights away, the faster we must run. They can't deny it, they can't decide to turn their face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that we can make it. 'Cause saying we're wrong, no, no. I thought that our pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. refuse to hear our plea, the harder we will sing. They hide behind walls of Jericho. Their lies will come falling. Deny our place on earth. They squander wealth that's ours. Our lights will shine so brightly. Oh Ghana, new day is coming. Something inside so strong. I know that we can make it. Cause saying we're wrong, no, no. I thought that our pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Brothers and sisters, when they insist we just can't do it.
Oh, we just can't do it now. Oh, when we know better, just look 'em in the eyes and say,
We're gonna do it anyway. Ghana's gonna make it anyway. Ghana's gonna make it anyway. Because there's something inside so strong. I know that we can make it. I believe in God so strong. I thought that our pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Something inside so strong.
We may have our differences, but what joins us together is more important. We are one Ghana, and I'm totally committed to working to ensure peace and stability for the Ghana project. I believe in you. I believe in the can-do spirit of the Ghanaian. I believe in Ghana. And above all, I believe in God.
Welcome back to the show, and thank you very much for staying with us, and thank you, sir, for your time as well.
Thank you for having me.
I know that you're expecting all the votes on Saturday, and we don't know where people are going to vote because it's a secret ballot, but we know that one vote that you will not be getting, of course, apart from your competitors, President Kufuor has announced that he is not going to vote for any of those candidates. He's gone abroad. He's waiting to receive the winner and to hopefully help the winner to become a successor president in the MPP. So you're not going to get President Kufuor's vote. Is that disappointing for you?
Not particularly. I think these are very personal matters. I mean, the President Kufuor occupies a very special place in the history and in the sentiments of the MPP. Dr. Busia was the first of our line who made it to government, and he's the second. And in the context of the Fourth Republic, he's the only one. So you can imagine he occupies a very large place within the whole structure of the MPP. And I believe that is what has compelled him to make the decisions that he has. I suspect he's voted in past elections. But if he's decided today that he's not to, it's not a disappointing matter for me. I would have loved to have him vote for me. Why not? Well, anybody would. But I think that if he's decided to take this decision, I'm comfortable with it. It is his own assessment of what he needs to do to be an effective senior citizen of the party. I think that it's well. I don't have a difficulty with it.
I want to talk finally about football, and we know that you played football before.
Yes,
but there were pictures of you on Facebook watching the Black Stars during the World Cup.
Oh, yes. Okay.
It came as quite disappointing to all of us. And how did you sort of receive the Black Stars debacle, now what we now call the debacle of Brazil?
It was really very, especially after the stunning performance against Germany. Because I mean, especially on hindsight, it becomes clear that the future champion had his most difficult game against us, and we very nearly won that game, and it would have changed the destiny of the Black Stars. It was a very sad moment for all Ghanaians. All of this, which is now coming out as to what happened in the background, which was not known to some of us at the time, but it's a very sad moment. We have a wonderful history in this country as far as football is concerned. And it's important that we continue always to be concerned about the quality of the Black Stars so that that history can continue. I think that the national obsession, which it is with soccer, for me, sits very, very well. I'm wishing them the best of luck. I saw not at the time it took place, but subsequently the replay of their match against Guinea. And you can see that they're very much back, you know, working together and playing well together. We have some outstanding footballers, whichever way you look at it. Asamoah Gyan and Dede Ayew and Kuja Asamoah, these are world-class footballers, and they come from our small nation. So it's something that we should be very proud about and continue to you know, stump up. And
when you began your campaign, this is a very final one. When you began your campaign in 2008, there was Yenim Wofri Tete was there. Then later there was Nana. But now I read social media, there's something else.
What?
Shea Nana. What's that? What's the meaning of that?
I think it's something coming from the northern part of our country, which is sort of, you know, Nana sort of thing.
Okay.
That, you know, yeah.
All right, that's good.
Okay. But it's important. I think it's good that I change with the time.
All the time.
Yes,
yeah.
with the time.
Okay. So whilst we say thank you very much, can I say Shea Nana?
Paul, thank you so much for having me. I've enjoyed being with you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's Nana Akufo-Addo. Thanks for watching.
The higher they build your barriers, the taller you must become. The further they take our rights away, the faster we must run. They can't deny it. They can't decide to turn their face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that we can make it. 'Cause say we're wrong, no, no. I thought that our pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong.
The more they refuse to hear our plea, the harder we will sing. They hide behind walls of Jericho. Their lies will come falling. Deny our place on earth. They squander wealth, vex us. Our lights will shine so brightly. Oh, Ghana, new day is coming. Something inside so strong. I know that we can make it. 'Cause say we're wrong, no, no. I thought that our pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong.
may have our differences, but what joins us together is more important. We are one Ghana, and I'm totally committed to working to ensure peace and stability for the Ghana project. I believe in you. I believe in the can-do spirit of the Ghanaian. I believe in Ghana, and above all, I believe in God.